So will you put your hands together and welcome the judges.
So as you can see, we're just welcoming the judges into the arena. They will be closely followed by the gymnasts. We have got some spectacular gymnastics superstars waiting in the sidelines here for you today. We've had 2 fantastic rounds of action already, this morning and this afternoon. And I can tell you that the current leader in the men's senior all-round competition is Will Trude from Loughborough Students Gymnastics. 80.8 was his score, but with the likes of Dan Keating, Dan Purvis and Sam Oldham still to come, you've got to think there's going to be some people to challenge that title. In the women's competition, Lisa Mason's our current leader, 52.65 her total. She put together impressive routines on the beam and the floor to earn that top position, but we have got still to come Amy Tinkler, Claudia Fragapani, the all-around senior debut for Ellie Downey, and also Kelly Sims. So we've got some spectacular routines to come, and we can't wait to see these gymnasts in action. The arena's looking great, the lights are on, and you're going to see some spectacular introductions when these gymnasts are welcomed into the arena. Watch out for the flame cannons, watch out for the lights, because the show is just as spectacular as the gymnastics still to come.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's your judges! Yeah! We couldn't do it without them, could we? They're pretty awesome. Okay, so we're under 60 seconds away from getting today's competition underway, yeah? We've got some superstars of the sport. We've got your European champions, your world champions, your Commonwealth champions, your Olympians. They're all going to be here for you guys. But I'm under strict instructions that I'm not allowed to start today's competition until we get that clapometer up there on the big screen to red line. Some of you are in this morning, you know what to do. Some of you are new, okay? So this side, that side, all right? Your team 1. That side, your team 2, all right? We've got to get it to red line. Team 1, make some noise. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that was much better than this morning. Team 2, go! Oh, pretty amazing. So, we got it up there to orange. Can we get it to red? Everyone in this whole arena, I want you clapping your hands, stamping your feet, making some noise for those gymnasts that we love, yeah? Yeah. So on the count of 3, let's raise the roof. 1, 2, 3! Yeah! Let's welcome in those gymnasts.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome into the arena the gymnasts starting on vault. Representing South Essex, Max Whitlock. Reese Beckford. From the city of Birmingham, Dominic Cunningham. Representing South Essex, Jay Thompson and Bryn Bevan. They begin their event on vault. In the women's competition, starting on floor from Cardiff Central, Angel Romeo. From Notts Gymnastics Academy, Ellie Downey. Representing Dynamo, Kelly Sims. And from the city of Liverpool, Charlie Fellows. They start their event on floor. In the men's event, starting on the horizontal bar. Representing Pegasus, James Hall. And Courtney Tullock. Representing Earls, Christian Thomas. From Huntington, Daniel Keatings. Representing Milton Keynes, Prasant Salatharai. And from Huntington, Lewis Smith, MBE. They start their event on high bar. Back to the women and starting on uneven bars. From Knots, Rebecca Downey. Representing Bristol Horse, Claudia Fragapani. Representing South Durham, Amy Tinkler. From Cardiff Central, Rhea Fika. From Park Reading, Georgina Hockenhull. And from East London, Taisha Mattis. They start on uneven bars. And finally, starting their competition on the pommel horse. Representing Leeds, Ashley Watson. From Southport YMCA, Dan Purvis. Also from Southport YMCA, Frank Bain. And finally from Loughborough students, Sam Oldham. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for the gymnasts.
Our gymnasts arrive at their first apparatus. Gymnasts, your warm-up starts now.
Okay, so what a spectacular entrance for these gymnasts coming into the Liverpool Echo Arena. And we've got some incredible gymnastics right off the top, haven't we? So I'm joined in the commentary position by Olivia Howard. Liv, welcome to the commentary desk.
Thank you very much, Katie.
And yeah, right off the top, we've got some spectacular routines, almost as spectacular as that entrance was there coming into the arena.
Yeah, it's going to be a really exciting evening. You've got some of the top GB gymnasts in this session who are going to be battling it out for the all-around title, and obviously those spots for the apparatus finals tomorrow and the masters finals for the men.
Absolutely, there's a huge amount on the line for these gymnasts. Of course, also for the men and women, this is the final trial for the European Championships in just a couple of weeks' time. And the very first routine we're going to see is from a defending European champion, Rebecca Downey, over on the bars.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting performance. Obviously, first up, first piece for Becky. I think she's only going to be competing bars and beams, so it's quite nerve-wracking for her to come straight in and go straight off.
Absolutely, 2 rotations, and she's going to have her competition complete, isn't she? First 2 fast out the gates, but maybe it'll work well for her. It's not just Becky though, of course, we've got some big names taking part today. Straight after Becky, we've got Claudia Fragapani coming up on the bars. Of course, Claudia had a spectacular 2014 and we'll be looking to do something similar this year.
Yeah, we've also got Amy Tinkler, who is the senior English champion. She was crowned a couple of weeks ago, so she'll be looking to perhaps take that title in her first year as a senior.
Absolutely, it's certainly going to be an exciting competition. Sadly, we have got a few of our familiar faces out with injury, but we will be joined by a few familiar faces here in the commentary position throughout the course of the evening. Hopefully we're going to get a chance to talk to Rebecca Tenney, who of course would have been the defending champion were she able to compete. Unfortunately, she's suffering from a bit of an injury at the moment, so hopefully we'll be able to get an update from her. Also, Hannah Whelan, recently retired from gymnastics, has been helping us out this weekend, so I'm sure we'll get a word with her. And also Niall Wilson. So not long left of this warm-up. The gymnasts are just having their kind of final touch on the apparatus, trying to get a real feel for what it's like here in the arena. And actually it still looks a little bit smoky after that very grand entrance, doesn't it?
It does, but it's actually amazing too. We've got a really big audience. It's actually our biggest audience to date at the British Championships, and it's actually quite packed in here. I'm quite impressed, and I think it's going to be a really good atmosphere.
Yeah, I think so. The crowd are going to be getting behind these gymnasts, and it's definitely going to be a loud and noisy evening. So some of the routines are just starting now. Obviously the girls on bars get a little bit more time because they get the opportunity to prepare the apparatus as well. Some of the gymnasts need the bars raising, so it takes a little bit longer to go through that warm-up period. Becky did look like she was having a couple of struggles in her warm-up. I think she's been struggling a little bit with this particular set of bars. That might be a little bit difficult to understand, but all of the different sets of bars, different manufacturers have a little bit of a different feel and a different bounce to them, don't they?
Yeah, and obviously the girls have been warming up in a separate warm-up pool, so although they may be the same set type of bars, they're a different set of bars, so a different type of chalk on them slightly maybe. So it's hard, and they've really got to learn to adapt. And I think it's a good thing when you come to international competitions and you're on completely different equipment.
Absolutely. I mean, when there are these big European Championships, for example, if they were to perform directly after a Romanian gymnast, they don't use handguards, they don't have a lot of chalk on the bars at all. So one of the things about these gymnasts is learning to have the maturity to make those changes. You can just see Taisha Mattis there from East London going through her warm-up on the bars. Gymnasts get 50 seconds each to go through their final preparations. But I think Taisha is the final gymnast to warm up, and as soon as she's finished, we will be getting Becky Downey on the bars. And as well as the height of the bars, which some of the gymnasts are able to change, some gymnasts also have different preferences about the tension they like to have on the bars. They can change the bounce a little bit, make it feel a little bit tighter if they don't like the bars to move so much, or maybe a little bit looser if they want to get a little bit more bounce through the apparatus.
And Katie, do we think we're going to see Rebecca's hardest routine here? If she's not been going too well in warm-up, then...
Yeah, it's an interesting one. You might have seen that Becky put out on social media this week that she hit a 7 difficulty bar routine for the first time ever in her career. However, I think today she's going to be looking to just maybe play it safe, cleanly get through routine, and maybe if she gets through the apparatus finals on Sunday, then maybe she'll be pulling out the full routine. But here we go. Defending European champion, Becky Downey takes to the bars. Going straight into that hop change, into the forward toe on element, shoulder shut, and already we're seeing some of the differences than what we've been used to seeing. So wasn't able to connect directly into a release, but going through nice and cleanly. Beautiful toe on full, really quick hands in that pirouette. Cleanly through the pack somersault down to the low bar. Becky working well, even though this isn't the full difficulty routine she might have been hoping to perform. And again, we'd have liked to see a link to another release out of that shap. But a fantastic dismount, stuck dismount for Becky. Maybe not the routine she'd have been hoping to put out today, but I'm sure she'll be delighted to have got through that cleanly after the struggle she's had in her preparations.
Meanwhile, Angel Romeo scores 13.65.
And our next competitor on that apparatus representing Knots is Ellie Downey.
Okay, so we're obviously with Dan Purvis here mid-routine. One of our Olympic 2012 gymnasts was lucky enough to secure that bronze medal with the team and cleanly through his pommel routine. Pommel isn't Dan's favourite piece of apparatus, so he'll be happy to have a clean start there. And here we go on floor with Ellie Downey. I can tell you her first tumble was a huge double pike Arabian. Oh, and unfortunately landing right outside the floor area there. That's going to be a costly deduction. It'll be a 0.5 mandatory deduction because the tumble actually landed outside of the area completely. So she'll be looking to minimise the damage now. Needs clean landings for the rest of this routine. Ellie's such a powerful tumbler. Big, ooh, double tucked Arabian, and unfortunately her feet just got away from her there. Ellie has competed a couple of times already this year, but we haven't seen her doing full routines. So this is the first time she's putting out a full difficulty floor, and maybe it's just a little bit telling that she hasn't got that experience under her belt yet. Come on though, Ellie, stand up this last tumble. Big effort. Round off, flick, double tuck, easily through. Really made sure of that landing, nice and secure. She's going to be disappointed with those landing errors, but for the first time she's gone through today, not a bad effort at all. And plenty more pieces still to come. Gosh, it's action-packed already, isn't it, Liv? So going over to bars next, we've got Claudia Fragapane. Of course, a fantastic 2014 for her.
Yeah, and I think she's really improved upon the bars. She's a lot tighter in her swings and a few more difficult connections, and I think she can maybe up the score here, which will really help her in the all-around competition.
Absolutely. She's got a big new release for 2015. It's called the Church. That's a toe-on piked catcher. That's worked once for her this year and also not worked quite so well at a different competition. So let's see if she can get it clean and tidy today. Claudia choosing to mount straight to the high bar. Going to be getting into the action straight away. Lovely piked Jaeger to start her off. Slightly bent arms in the catch. Oh, and there we go, that Church release. Not quite getting enough distance back from the bar and just catching her feet, but doing really well to maintain the swing. Oh, and working hard now, had to really press up that cast to make sure she could get over the bar. There we go, toe on full. Not a lot left in this routine now, winding up for a dismount. A lovely double straight somersault dismount. And she looks pretty relieved to have got through that one. Maybe not quite as she'd planned, catching her feet, but a solid routine for Claudia. Now, quickly going over to the floor, we join Kelly Sim, one of the members of the 2014 English Commonwealth team. Had a big double straight opener. This next tumble, a new one for 2015, rounds off, whip, full in tuck somersault. Oh, and a bit of a crunch on the landing. But nevertheless, big difficulty for this gymnast. This is a new floor routine for Kelly, really dramatic music. So she's aiming to make her choreography match. Third pass, 1.5 walk through to double tuck, making that look like a simple single somersault at the end of that challenging pass. All of the gymnasts have to show a spin on the floor. Kelly opting for a simple double turn. And finishes off with a big double pike just to hop back on the landing. But Kelly is a truly powerful gymnast. And for the first time she's put that floor routine out on the competition floor. She's going to be delighted with that effort. Going over to pommel horse now, we're joining Sam Oldham. Of course, was injured during the 2014 Commonwealth Games, so he's just coming back from that injury. Using the Magyar travel to go the length of the pommel, coming back with Shivado, and pulling up strongly into his dismount, chucking that pirouette in and a clean landing.
Sam Oldham there finishing his routine on pommels.
It's so tricky to keep up with all the action here in the arena. I can tell you that Amy Tinkler is currently going through her bar routine nice and cleanly. And full in dismount, very nice, and a roar from the crowd. Amy, of course, won the English Championships just a couple of weekends ago, so she's really going to be looking to contend for this British title today, and certainly going to be wanting a space on that medal rostrum. So to bring you up to date with a couple of scores, Becky Downey on bars, 14.65. Not a bad start for her at all, but not quite the really lofty score in the 15s that we might be expecting to see from her. Angel Romeo currently in second place, 13.65 was the score for her floor routine. And Claudia Fragapane, after catching her feet on that bar, 13 dead for her. So very early on in this championship race, but already some spectacular gymnastics being shown.
Our next competitor on
Ooh,
that
13.9 for Kelly Sim on floor. It's not a bad effort at all. And a real roar for Charlie Fellows as she enters the floor. The home support really has been spectacular for these Liverpool gymnasts, hasn't it?
Yeah, should be hoping to do them proud here. Looks fantastic in their new leotards. And a fantastic opening tumble there for Charlie. She's normally very dramatic in her dance on the floor, and she's got some difficult tumbles. She's come up quite high, took the silver medal back, I believe, in 2013 at the British All Around, so she'll be looking to figure here.
A very ambitious leap series there, just went a little bit crooked in the air, so the judges will have to decide whether she made the full rotation and give the full difficulty value. All of the gymnasts, of course, required to show a leap series, that's 2 leaps combined within a single passage, one of which must show a 180-degree split position. And you might be able to hear Rebecca Tenney in the background egging on her teammate through these tumbles. Unfortunately, not quite able to put that 2.5 twister to her feet. Just one more tumble to go though, so she's summoning the energy to finish off this routine strongly. Oh, and unfortunately just not quite enough juice left in the tank for that double pike. Very ambitious difficulty on that floor routine. But she's going to be a little bit disappointed to start off her championship contention with 2 falls. Crikey, this has been an action-packed rotation already. I can barely keep up with everything that's going on. Of course, we've got our very best gymnast taking part in this final subdivision, so there truly is action going on all around the arena.
And I believe there's just one more gymnast to go in this rotation, which is Taisha Mattis on the bars.
Yep, Taisha had a spectacular first year as a junior gymnast. Unfortunately, following the British Championships last year, she was injured and wasn't able to contend for the junior European team that did so well. But now we're finally seeing her as a senior. It feels like she's kind of come up the ranks so quickly. And she's got some really great difficulty here on the bars. Taisha's a bit of a daredevil of a gymnast. She's said that she'd always prefer to learn a new skill than perfect an old one, and you can definitely see that she's been learning plenty of difficult skills on this apparatus. Straight off the top, clear hip Shaposhnikova, linked directly back into a pack somersault down to the low bar. And this time the Shap with a half turn. Quickly through her clear full into a huge Katchev somersault, directly linked into a Ginger. Really great difficulty here on the bars, and kicks up high into her double tuck dismount. Taisha isn't doing all round here at these championships. We think we're only going to see her on a couple of events, so she's going to be really pleased to put in a solid performance there on the bars.
Yeah, that was a really good routine there from Taisha. Some really big skills, and like we say, she's really improved on her form as well. It's looking a lot cleaner, and now she's got the difficulty and the form. We really could see some big scores from her.
Yeah, she has improved big time on this piece. You used to see a lot more deductions to the legs. That's to be said though, there are still areas where the judges can deduct. There are small leg separations, areas where you'd like to see a bit of a stronger toe point just to clean up those skills that little bit more. Especially when you followed a European bar champion in your same rotation, the judges are going to have kind of that level of ability in their mind, so sometimes that can just highlight some more of those areas a little bit more for them. Nevertheless, a really clean, solid performance.
Alright, very exciting first round, ladies and gentlemen. Too much to look at, I think. And the score there for Charlie Fellows, 11
The score on the floor for Charlie Fellows is 11.7, and actually with 2 falls, that's a remarkably good effort. If you think about where she would have been had she managed to put both of those 2 tumbles to her feet, it would have been a spectacular score indeed. And there we go, the flame cannons are back in action again as we march our gymnasts around to their second piece of apparatus. I think this competition is just going to fly by. There really is action everywhere going on in the arena. We're going to be trying our best to follow the leaders as the all-around competition develops, show you some of the highlight routines from our very best British gymnasts. Feel free to get in touch, let us know what you think of the coverage. If there's any gymnast that you'd like to send a tweet out to, then please do let us know. We are at Brit Gymnastics, and don't forget to use the hashtag Battle of the Brits. You can also keep up to date with all of the live scores as they come in using the BG Score app, or you can use the BG Score Facebook page. Just search for BG Score and that'll give you the link to not only the scores but also each of the individual apparatus' judge cams. So if there's a particular routine that you'd like to be watching, then that gives you the ability to do so.
This morning, you know exactly what that means. It's time for our selfie competition, and trust me guys and girls, you want to get involved in this. The winner of this selfie competition now is going to win themselves a family ticket to the MAG final, team final at the World Championships. I want to be there. Are you going to be there? Get your phones out like this, take yourself a selfie. Yeah, just like that. Hashtag Battle of the Brits. We've got a judge down here who's going to judge them. All right, when we come back from the next rotation, we're going to decide who is going to be going to the World Championships. So everyone, get those phones out, take yourself a selfie, hashtag Battle of the Brits, and we'll see who gets the win. Let's turn this music
So you
up.
can just see our comp head John is working hard in the arena. They've got a Twitter competition for people to take a selfie and get the opportunity to win tickets to the World Championships. Unfortunately, you can only take part if you are here in the arena. You need to collect the tickets today. But nevertheless, it's provided some entertaining selfies for us to take a look at. Now, whilst the gymnasts are warming up, I'm lucky enough to be joined by 2012 Olympian Rebecca Tunney. Of course, would have been our defending British champion here today, but unfortunately she's out with a little bit of an injury. So Becky, thank you very much for joining us.
It's alright, good to be here.
And what's it like to be sitting watching the action rather than down on the competition floor?
It's a lot different, to be honest. You know, I'm usually down there doing my stuff, and it's a different view from here. Everything looks different, and it kind of feels nice to have a rest. I mean, I've been resting for like a year now, but we have a rest from competition. But it does, being up here makes me do want to go back down there again.
I can imagine. And can you just give us a bit of an update on your injury? On the men's, when are we going to see you back competing again?
Yeah, I'm definitely on the mend. I've got the all clear after hospital now, so it's just like rehabbing gradually and building up my muscle strength again.
Well, we definitely can't wait to see you back in action. There's some spectacular gymnastics going on down on the floor though. Who do you fancy for taking your title today?
I think it's anyone's today, really. You know, you've got all the squad girls that are all obviously up there, and they've all been looking really good at squads and stuff. Could be anyone's. I mean, you've got Tinks, who's like got good floors. You know, she's a good all-round competitor. Ellie, you know, she's been out injured like the past couple of months, but she looks healthy again. She looks fit and looks ready. So it really could be anyone's. It's anyone's really.
And what do you think of the setting here in the Liverpool Echo Arena? Obviously we've been here for a few years now, but every year the crowd seems to get bigger. This year we've got flame cannons, we've never had those before. What do you think of the setup here?
It's good. I mean, it's nice being in Liverpool. You know, it's a good city as well, and we do get a lot of crowd here. It's a big arena. You know, it's amazing. So hopefully we'll keep it here for a few more years.
There's certainly a big group from your club, the City of Liverpool. They've been very noisy over in that far stand. How important is it when the crowd get behind you during routines?
It makes a massive impact. You know, you've got the whole like crowd behind you, and you know that they're with you like every step of the way, no matter what happens. And it does make a massive impact, especially like when you're down on that floor.
Okay, so it looks like the warm-ups have concluded, and I hear, Becky, that you'd like to have a go at commentating. So Cloudy is the first one up on B. And I'm going to pass the reins over to you, if that's all right.
Yeah, that's fine. Cool. Good loop stage just to start the beam routine off, you know, get her going. Nice easy way to get it going. Nice into the flips 2 straight, you know, good as a connection bonus that she has to have. Nice and straight, good landing, just a tiny bit of a wobble, but all good. Straight into the full spin, nice and clean. Looks like she just caught her foot then on the free walk over, just caused her to fall off, but you know she's got the rest of the beam routine to go, so hopefully she can pull it back. Massive standing full there off Frags. Little powerhouse for her on beam. A good sheep jump, just that tiny little adjustment, but all good. Nice flicks 1, flicks 2, double pike dismount there. Just a little hop on landing, but good beam for Frags. Just a shame for that little mistake in the middle.
Yeah, very uncharacteristic, that mistake. I don't think I've ever seen her fall on that free walkover. A bit of a shame for her. So she's had a couple of difficulties so far. Had a bit of a problem on the bars with the release and an early fall early on beam. She'll be looking to definitely pick herself up on her 2 favourite pieces of apparatus, so floor and vault still to come.
Yeah, definitely. She's got a massive strong force. She's got a good double on vault, so hopefully she can bring them back.
So going over to rings now then. We've got Frank Baines. A very impressive planche. Oh, and a lovely level planche position there. Frank obviously a particular fan of those skills. Takes tremendous strength and control to fix that body in the position. Using the forward giants to press up into that nice clean handstand straight. And just a little bit soft in his lower back. Really want to see the gymnast pressing up tall in those handstands. Lovely swing there through to the straddle back planche. A simple pike lever. Getting ready for his dismount now. Double pike front, a lovely clean landing. Incredible strength and control in that routine for Frank, and a solid routine on the rings. So we're going back to the beam now. We're going to be taking our first look at Amy Tinkler. Her score on bars was 13.65. Bars probably Amy's least favourite piece of apparatus, so she'll be looking to put in a big score here. She's got some very difficult work on the beam. She's got a full twisting tuck back somersault. And you can see Amy just making sure that she's got a full coverage of chalk on her hands and her feet. A lot of the gymnasts like to make sure they've got plenty of chalk on any part of their body that's going to make contact with the apparatus. Just makes it a little bit more comfortable for them. And the score in for Claudia Fragapani, 12.85 on the beam. So Amy mounting directly onto the beam, a nice simple start, gets her safely onto the apparatus. But big difficulty right off the top, standing layout directly linked into a second layout somersault. Amy, a very powerful gymnast, and working well to link that free cartwheel directly into the W jump. Amy always works with a real confidence on the beam. All the gymnasts are required to show a spin element on the apparatus, and Amy does so with a simple full turn. Amy often uses the tuck back somersault early on in her routine, almost like a warm-up for a full twist. And free walkover, looks like she wanted to connect that directly into her leap series. She might not get the connection value for that today, but a lovely clean leap series. Ooh, it looks like we're not getting the standing full today, directly into a dismount, a brand new for 2015, a triple twist. An incredible routine. She is going to be delighted with that performance, and she's really staking her claim here for this title. Over to parallel bars now. We are seeing Jay Thompson from South Essex. Of course, teammates Max Whitlock. The South Essex club is producing some fantastic gymnastics at the moment. And you can really see the quality of execution in his parallel bars routine. Lovely straight arms and all of his holds. And a great double pike dismount. You see a little cheeky smile as he landed that routine. Clearly happy with that performance. We're going to be going back over to women's beam to take a look at Rhea Thika. Rhea was a member of the Welsh team at the Commonwealth Games who took that historic bronze medal. And Rhea really is a seasoned competitor at the international level. She's represented Wales on many occasions in various international events and has also been a member of the Great British team. Really liking the Welsh leotards this weekend, Liv. We've seen them all in a variety of colours. We had Maisie Methuen in the bright orange yesterday. Obviously Rhea in the purple here today, but they're really twinkling under these arena lights, aren't they?
Yeah, actually, all of the girls' leotards this weekend have been quite nice. There've been lots of sparkles, especially like say under these lights. They are actually looking amazing. Obviously about the gymnastics, but the leotards, you know, they do look fantastic as well.
Well, Hannah Whelan shared with us yesterday that one of the most exciting things about coming to the British Championships was choosing her leotard. So, you know, it's clearly important to these guys.
Our final contender on that apparatus, representing South Essex, is Bryn Bevan.
Score for Amy Thika, 13.75. Next to perform and representing Cardiff Central, Rhea Thika.
So we are actually going to go over to P-bars now. We've got Bryn Bevan, our English champion, taking to the apparatus. See, he's got a bit of a strapping on his upper arm, and that's exactly why. Really good double back somersault to catch to upper arms. And Bryn, obviously a fan of these somersaulting elements. Making his way to the end of the bars, beautiful toe pelt, caught on straight arms, and easily making that press to handstand. Lovely work to one bar, but having to work really hard to press it back to that handstand. Using the Healy turn. And there was a lovely somersault in the air, but just had to readjust his hands to make sure of the grasp. Getting ready now for his dismount, a big double pike. A tiny hop back on the landing. Not a routine without deductions, and by the look on his face he knows it. But still a clean routine and one more in the bag. So back over to beam, we are now with Rhea Thika from Cardiff Central. Having to make a slight adjustment to hold on to that landing. Ooh, and a double spin. Those spinning elements really do give the gymnasts a very tricky time. Anything where you have to move your body away from the straight axis of the beam. is always very difficult. Once you're offline and you're kind of committed to one of those turns, then it's very difficult to pull yourself back on track. The beep signalling that Rhea has just got 10 seconds to dismount the apparatus, and she does so with a 2.5 twist.
Finishing on
A strong finish, but she's going to be disappointed with that fall so close to the end of her routine.
Just remember that Rhea obviously had a small injury at the end of the Commonwealth Games last year, so she's done actually very well to get back to full fitness as quickly as she has.
Absolutely, it was a bit of a disappointing Commonwealth Games for Rhea. She made the bars final, but unfortunately wasn't able to complete her routine there, so I believe she's been rehabbing and worked really hard to get back to these British Championships, so it is just great to see her out on the competition floor.
Meanwhile, Bryn Bennett scored 14.35 on parallel bars. We have 3 gymnasts yet to compete on the beam in this rotation. The other operators have finished.
So we've still got a few beam routines to go left in this rotation. It's quite a big group here on beam. And our next competitor is going to be Georgina Hockenhull from the Park Reeking Club in Shropshire. Georgie had a really strong end to her 2014, didn't she, Liv?
Yeah, it was fantastic to see her take the bronze medal on beam at the Commonwealth Games. She's a very quiet gymnast, but she moves along, she gets on with her work. She's normally quite strong on the beam, so she'll be looking to put in a good performance today, which is the only piece she'll be competing on due to a small injury she's been having.
Yeah, and she's certainly been growing in confidence on this piece of apparatus. Late in 2014 at the Glasgow World Cup, George had a last-minute call to compete and actually did incredibly well, placed above some incredibly well-known gymnasts, Vanessa Ferrari, and just had a spectacular competition there. A new acro series for George this year, free cartwheel layout. Oh, and she did that so well in podium training yesterday. Another case that if you're offline from the free cartwheel, it really is impossible to pull it back once you've committed to the layout somersault. Nice and quickly through her leap series though. George, a really fast twitch gymnast. And no such trouble with a free walkover, directly linking it into a leap. This code of points, of course, the gymnasts do get bonus for joining acrobatic elements into dance elements such as spins or leaps. And again, solid with the side somersault. Just the dismount to go. A lofty double tuck somersault. And that dismount always amazes me. She doesn't run down the beam at all. She just takes a couple of slow steps and seems to pop up off the end of the beam. Really good dismount for her. So she's going to be a little bit disappointed with that free cartwheel layout, but sometimes when these gymnasts have got a new skill that they're putting out in a routine, it's all about just getting that competition experience.
Yeah, I think she'll just be pleased that she went for it. She's got it out of the way. The rest of the routine was quite solid, in fact. So I don't think it'll be a bad score because she often does score quite highly. So depending on how the rest of the field do, she may well make the final, the top 8, but we'll just have to wait and see.
No, you could be right. Our top scoring beam from the first 2 subdivisions was in fact a routine that had a fall, so she might not be far away at all. I can tell you that our current top scorer on beam is in fact Amy Tinkler. She got 13.75. And there we go, actually, second place, even with that fall, Claudia Fragapani, 12.85 is currently the second highest score on the beam.
I can tell you that up next on the beam is Taisha Mattis. She actually scored a 14.45 on the bars, which was good.
Yeah, a really good score. Not far away at all from... not far behind Becky Downey, our European bars champion.
Yeah, I think when Taisha gets back to full fitness, she really could challenge for these all-around positions.
Absolutely. When she's fully fit, she's a force to be reckoned with. She's got big difficulty. She was performing a double twisting Yurchenko on vaults, and I believe she had in fact maybe even been training that elusive 2.5 twister. Also on floor, she was the first ever British gymnast to perform a double twisting double back, so definitely a powerful gymnast.
Starts off nice and confident with some tight bit of dance just to get herself moving. And a nice flip layout layers series there on the beam. She looks very confident she finishes off, especially as she's been injured for so long. And a double spin. Oh, she managed to just hold on there with her hand, but that will be counted as a fall on the apparatus, although not quite as much as if you fell off. She'll look to make sure the rest of this beam routine is solid. And there, the flip, full twisting tuck back somersault, very, very impressive there. And she even was high enough to open out and spot the beam in good time. Oh, and such a shame there on that side somersault. Couldn't quite hold it, almost had too much power there. Looked like she kind of bounded off the beam as she came over the top. This routine surely is packed with difficulty. I think once she gets more confidence and can nail the routine, she'll definitely be looking at a big beam score. Finishing off with the 2.5 twist, just about staying on the mats there. But not a bad routine for Taisha, I think. Yeah, a few mistakes, but some big, big skills.
Absolutely, and having watched her a few times in warm-ups, I think she has been struggling with her acrobatic series, that flick full twist, and maybe having made that, she kind of just relaxed a little bit. Maybe that was the thing she was worried about. Normally that side to me would be a walk in the park for her. She could do it with her eyes closed, I think.
But like you say, I think putting in new skills here, perhaps she can take away that confidence, knowing she can do that flick full twist in a competition environment, and perhaps that will boost her confidence, continue performing well on the beam and keep improving her skills.
Absolutely, and you never know, as we've said, we've got people in our top 8 who've counted a fall, so we might still steer in the beam final on Sunday. We have just got one competitor left to go in this rotation. It's going to be Becky Downey up on the beam for knots. Becky's made a couple of international finals on this piece of apparatus. You can see she's just making her own adjustments to the beam there, just to make sure it's perfectly in line. A couple of the gymnasts have been saying that the beam is moving a little bit on the podium, so obviously wanting to make sure it's in exactly the right place before she starts, I suppose.
This will be Becky's final performance today, and she's just going to be competing on the bars and the beam, so she'll be looking to put in a strong performance to defend her beam title that she won at last year's British Championships.
Absolutely, that was a great routine. Becky, of course, competed a sort of surprise all around for us last year in the championships in 2014, and it was this piece of apparatus that just pushed her down into second place. She did a spectacular routine, completely solid all the way through, and then just fell on her dismount. So I'm sure she'll be hoping to stay on her feet here today.
Now, of all of the girls here, she's probably one of the ones with most experience, would you say?
Absolutely. I mean, Becky's already competed at multiple Commonwealth Games, multiple European Championships. Of course, she went to the Olympics back in Beijing. I mean, she couldn't really get more competition experience than she's already got. That being said, when the girls are still adding difficulty, changing up their routines, it's always a bit of a nerve-wracking experience to add a new skill in competition.
And there's a score for Taisha Mattis, 12.95.
And there we go, so the score 12.95 for Taisha Mattis. In fact, currently puts her in second place on the beam. So I'm sure we will be seeing her again on Sunday.
Rebecca Downey!
And you can see Becky just trying to take a quiet moment to herself there, really trying to blank out the noise being made from the crowd here in the arena. Lovely quick start, the jump to split position. And that first skill that we're so used to seeing from Becky, the punch front somersault, really aggressive on this piece of apparatus. Quickly, ooh, and that would have been her acrobatic series. Now this could give her a bit of a problem. Normally we see Becky doing her free cartwheel layout, and we'll have to see if she's got a secondary option for that acrobatic series, but that could be a costly error. Of course, it's a element group requirement here on the beam, so it could be a 0.5 reduction in her start value. Oh dear. Not a good showing here for Becky on beam. Now that is another new acrobatic series that she's been trying for 2015, linking her spin directly into free walkover, but obviously not quite working for her here today. And there we go, she's repeating it again. Oh! So, free walkover directly linked into her side somersault. Now actually, even if she had stayed on the apparatus there, having already performed a free walkover, that wouldn't have given her an acrobatic series because you're not allowed to repeat elements. So an interesting choice there for Becky.
Yeah, I think maybe just in competition suddenly kind of panicked. She knows she's got to have something there for that 0.5, so thought, well, why not go for it? But it is one of those difficult decisions to make under pressure.
Oh, absolutely, and very unusual there. Went to go for a dismount, but obviously not quite feeling steady. The audience giving her a little bit more encouragement. Oh dear. And very unusual. Becky obviously just struggling a little bit there on the apparatus, opting not to perform a dismount. Normally we'd expect to be seeing a double pike for her there. But clearly just not quite happy with the failing in that routine. You don't know if she might be carrying a little bit of an injury, just not wanting to risk anything, but clearly just feeling a bit unsettled on the apparatus.
Fantastic start to this subdivision of the competition. A few people we do need to thank you. British Gymnastics would like to take this opportunity to thank JT Hughes Group for supplying us with 2 Honda Civics for 2 of our British gymnasts to use for 1 year. That's pretty awesome. So a big thank you to the JT Hughes Group. A big thank you also going out to Milano Pro Sport, and the official leotard supplier of British Gymnastics, to Continental, who are the official equipment supplier of British Gymnastics, all the equipment you're seeing out here, of course, provided by Continental, and of course the IHG, Intercontinental Hotel Group. All up and down the country and all over the world, we do have to travel with these competitions. The IHG Group is the official partner of British Gymnastics. For exclusive discounts, you head to the website, British Gymnastics, and follow the links. A big thank you also going out to Ala Digital for all the printing requirements here at British Gymnastics for all of our competitions. To UK Sports, this is so long, there's so many people to thank. A big thank you to you. To BC Photographic.
So after the drama of that rotation, we're going to try and bring you up to date with the current men's standings. It looks like our high scorer so far in this third subdivision is Christian Thomas from Earls Gymnastics Club, currently with a total of 30.6. Just behind him, Sam Alden with a score of 29.05, and currently in third place in the men's senior all-arounds, Dan Purvis from Southport with 28.85.
This one loads up another country. And to all the mums and dads, family members who drive these gymnasts to and from the gym, and to all of the competition.
In the senior women's all-around, we're currently looking with the leader of Kelly Sim from Dynamo, 28.1 her total so far. Kelly, of course, has already performed on her 2 favourite pieces of apparatus, floor and vault, so it'll be interesting to see if she can hold on to that top spot. Currently in second, we have got Taisha Mattis, although obviously we know she's not competing on any further pieces, so a really good total for her there, 27.4. And And currently in third place we have Amy Tinkler from South Durham. Oh, and in fact actually it's joint second, also 27.4 for her with 2 apparatus down. In this rotation we're going to be turning our attention over to the pommel horse. And Liv, we really have got some fantastic international calibre gymnasts on this piece of apparatus.
Yep, starting off with the Scot, Dan Keatings. So we'll see how he can go on this piece of apparatus. He can score above a 16, but it tends to be what routine he puts out, whether he can obviously go clean.
Sometimes can be a little bit inconsistent here, can't he?
Yeah, so we'll have to wait and see what routine he puts out. Obviously, coming after him will be Lewis Smith, who we know can also...
People might have heard of Lewis,
They know who he is, so...
Yeah, Lewis has been doing some pretty big things. So you'll be able to hear that Amy Tinkler is just starting her floor routine. I promise we are catching this on a second feed. We will be uploading that later. And you can just hear the crowd going wild there. I can tell you that Amy hit her full twisting double layout somersault. So we are now ready to go on pommel horse with Dan Keating from Huntingdon. Lovely press to handstand on one handball, really clean form throughout this first part of his routine. And lovely travelling elements there, using the flare position, but just clattering his legs against the side of the pommel. Working well to bring it back under control. And lovely work on the end of the horse. But just unable to keep the swing going. Gymnast gets the opportunity to re-chalk before they mount the apparatus. But acknowledging to the judges that he is ready to remount. It's a real shame for Dan. He'd definitely been hoping to put in a top score here. Of course, for the men today is also the apparatus finals as well as the all-around competition. The men, of course, performing in the Masters finals on Sunday, which is a combined competition between the top 8 scorers on each apparatus from the under 16, under 18 and senior event. So Dan cleanly finishing off that routine, but he is going to be disappointed with the middle section there, where he unfortunately came away from the pommel. So Amy Tinkler went cleanly through her floor. You might have also caught a glimpse of Kelly Sim on the bars. Had a little bit of a difficulty before a dismount, but there is some spectacular gymnastics going on around this arena today, and it is so difficult to keep up with all of the routines that are going on.
Next competitor on that apparatus, representing Cardiff,
the score for Amy Tinkler on floor was 14.4. A really strong total on this apparatus, and she's definitely staking her claim for this title. So on floor now we are here with Rhea Fika from Cardiff Central. Now Rhea has a real speciality for forward twisting somersaults, but of course the female gymnast required to show a double somersaulting element somewhere in their routine. Rhea doing so with that lovely double tuck back. There you go, a 2.5 twisting forward somersault. Really great difficulty here. Those twisting elements may not look quite as exciting to all viewers as some of the double rotation elements, but they really are very difficult to generate that level of twist off the floor. And once again the handspring, this time just the double twist. Double twist carrying a D value, so it is the same as doing something like a double tuck or a double pike. Rhea just taking her time now, making sure she's got enough energy left for this final tumble. And round off flick, 2.5 twists to finish off, doing well to keep that pace inside the floor area. And really eyeballing the judges in that finishing position. A strong floor routine there for Rhea.
Next on vault, Dan Purvis.
So next up on the pommel horse, we have got a guest competitor. This individual is currently studying in London, but is a native Australian gymnast. He competed in the World Championship competition when it was in London back in 2009, and he is a bit of a pommel horse specialist. So, as a special treat today, we have got Prashanth Selathurai. Ooh, and having to just take his hand off the handle there to steady that handstand. It's so impressive when you see the men balancing themselves on such a small area of the horse. Ooh, and lovely work there between the handles. So difficult to control the movement without having any amount of travel. The gymnasts, of course, have to travel up and down the length of the pommel horse, but unfortunately just not able to stay on the pommel on this particular occasion.
Our next competitor on that floor, current Commonwealth champion, representing Bristol Hawks, is Claudia Fragapani.
Okay, so we're going to cross quickly over to floor because you know you're going to be wanting to see this routine from Claudia Fragapani. Open to the huge full-in double straight. And something that occurred to me the other day, this routine got quite a samba, sort of carnival feel to it. Something that might sound pretty good on the floor in Rio, I reckon. Perhaps something that Claudia and her coaches had in mind when selecting their music, you never know. And a lovely double Arabian. Claudia's had a bit of difficulty with that tumble at competitions earlier in the year, but not so today. She's definitely feeling the vibe of this floor routine. And you can see her coach there just in the background, looking on, watching as Claudia makes her way through this routine. Big difficulty still to come. Third pass, huge triple twist. And the crowd are loving this choreography. Choosing to do the double cat leap down to knee. Quite an unusual choice of leap here. And this big tumble still to come, a very ambitious final pass, double straight. Oh, and just keeps it in the floor area. Her coach Rory was throwing his hands up in the air in delight there. And what a way to finish that routine. The crowd go wild as Claudia Fragapani finishes that routine. Now what you might have noticed is right at the end there, after that last tumble, Claudia has in fact submitted a full twisting butterfly as a new element to the code of points. So if she manages to complete that successfully at a World or Olympic competition, then she will in fact get that named after her. We could have our very own frags.
That's really actually quite interesting. I didn't realise that at all. I just thought it was part of the dance. So good knowledge there, Katie.
Me too. The first time I watched it at the American Cup, I thought it was something that she just stuck in there at the end. And then when I was lucky enough to be on the floor panel at the English Championships, they were telling me that she's submitted it as a new element, trying to get it rated as a D. It's a pretty tricky skill, getting all that twist and butterflying in at the same time.
Wow, brilliant. Well, you can see now we've moved over to a certain Lewis Smith, who will be looking to put in a good performance here. Like you said, Katie, they're not just going for all-round medals here, they're also going for their apparatus medals and qualifying for the Masters. There's quite a lot for the men up for grabs tonight.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot at stake.
Fortunately, Dan Keating's having that fall does make way for Lewis perhaps to push right up into the medals.
Absolutely, so currently our top score on the pommel horse is 14.6. Definitely a surpassable total here for Lewis.
You can hear the crowd going wild in the background. Lots of Lewis fans here, I'm sure.
But you can see Lewis, just a picture of calm here, really trying to block all of that out. He's been in plenty of big arenas before, and the volume in that London 2012 arena certainly won't have been surpassed here, so he'll be just looking to keep his cool and concentrate on his routine. And lovely work, showing great control on both those single handle elements. Lewis always seems to have a relatively slow circling technique compared to a lot of the other competitors, but his swing still doesn't look laboured. He really moves smoothly through his elements. Ooh, and just losing his legs there a little bit, but doing incredibly well to keep that circling action going. There we go, using the Magyar and Shavado travels to travel the length up and down the horse. And pushing up tall into his dismount, needs to travel the full length of the horse to get difficulty, and he does so. A great routine for Lewis. And you can see him just looking up to the sky there, a little bit of relief that he's got through that routine. And we've got to think that that's going to push him to the top of the medal table so far on that routine. So we've got a moment of calm here in the arena just as we're waiting for the judges to tally up all of their totals. The score for Claudia Fragapani still yet to come through on floor. You can see the judges are busily working away, and there we go, 14-9. That is a huge score on floor.
That's going to really help her in terms of the all-around title. I think that mark she lost perhaps on the floor on the beam, she may just have made up on the floor.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a total that surpasses any of the floor scores we've seen so far today. 14-4 is the current second place from Amy Tinkler, though, so Tinkler's still looking like the favourite for the title at this moment in time. But I mean, 14-9, that's the kind of score that could be contending for finals and maybe even medals at international championships.
Yeah, with a 6-4 difficulty and an 8-5 execution, there was still a few hops and landing that we know she can actually nail. So if she can kind of now she's got the stamina to get through it, if she can now nail it, then we could be seeing a score into the 15s.
Absolutely. We have still got 2 competitors left to go on the pommel horse, and I'm not sure I'd fancy following Lewis Smith after a spectacular routine like that, but nevertheless, let's hope that James Hall from Pegasus is up for the challenge.
You can see some of the scores scrolling through for each of the operators. Well, Ellie Downey scored a 14.3 for her bar routine. Well done.
And you might have just heard that score coming in for Ellie Downey over on bars, 14.3, a really good score for her there. Like a couple of the gymnasts, she had been struggling a little bit with the swing in the warm-ups, but clearly pulled it together when it counted in competition.
Those are the scores for the leading bars so far, led by Becky Downey, 14.65, Tanisha Mattis currently second, 14.45, and Ellie Downey, 14.3, takes it into third place on the bar. Gymnasts will have to do it over again.
Looks like most of the judges have now submitted their scores for Lewis. We're just waiting for the last couple of ones to come in.
The score in for Lewis Smith MBE, 15.5.
And wow, 15.5 the score for Lewis. I'm sure that will have taken the lead so far in this pommel competition. And indeed, he's 0.9 ahead of his nearest rival so far, as James Hall from Pegasus takes to the pommel horse. James just taking a moment to steady himself. Oh, and unfortunately just overcooking that first press to handstand, having to take an extra step with his hand to steady himself. The gymnasts have circling elements as well as sheer type elements, and travelling up and down the length of the pommel. James working really well. He's got a nice straight body line through all of these circling elements. The judges want to see a nice straight line straight down from the shoulders to the gymnast's ankles and the hips high above the pommel. And cleanly through his dismount there. So after that kind of overcooking error early on, that was a pretty good routine from James, and will be contributing to a solid all-round total for him. And we've just got one more gymnast to come on the pommel horse. is it Courtney Tulloch, also from Pegasus. Now, pommel really isn't Courtney's favourite piece of apparatus, is it, Liv? He's better known for his work on the rings.
Yeah, you can see in his build, he's not particularly very tall, but he's pretty stacked in terms of muscle there. So it's a little bit harder with those leaders to try and get around the pommel horse, but I'm sure he'll do a good job nonetheless. And we're looking to put in a good performance here. Absolutely, those biceps are definitely built for holding strength position on the rings. And often you see the guys that have got the really big upper bodies do struggle a little bit more on the pommel horse. Clearly it's difficult to get your hands down, there's just too much muscle in the way. Yeah, it does show how incredibly hard gymnastics is. To be an all-rounder gymnast is incredibly difficult because you've got to be good at everything. And, you know, those attributes, like we just said, if you're slightly smaller, you're slightly taller, they can kind of hinder you slightly. So you do have to work incredibly hard to be a top all-around gymnast.
Indeed, a point very well made. Courtney, of course, though, has enjoyed a huge amount of international success. We first saw him come onto the scene a few years ago. I know he was a real cracker at the UK School Games back in the day. Sort of came out of nowhere and really smashed all of that competition. But last year, of course, having gone from those early beginnings, got to go to the World Championships as part of the British team and actually got a move named after him on the rings. So that's a fantastic honour for Courtney to have achieved in his first year at a major international championships.
Our final competitor there now, representing Pegasus, Courtney Tulloch.
So Courtney signalling to the judges that he's good to go and mounting straight to the two handles, getting his shear work out the way quickly. Lots of the gymnasts using these press to handstand type elements on the single handle before moving into those circling elements once again. Lovely controlled work on the one handle there. So difficult to get these hand placements right over such a small area. But Courtney travelling with confidence up and down the length of the apparatus. And a clean dismount. Not the most difficult routine that we've seen, but lovely and clean. And I'm sure that'll make a great contribution to his all-around total.
This is the final rotation for the women's competition. So at the end of this, we shall have a new British champion. Good luck to all the girls. Now, we did a bit of a selfie competition before. We're about to announce the winner, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you've got your selfies in. Hashtag Battle of the Brits. The winner of this competition is going to win a pair of tickets to the MAG Team Final, Wednesday the 28th of October for the World Championships up in Glasgow. Tickets are like gold dust. Okay, so in third place, was going to win right there. In third place, we got Jens. That's pretty cool. That's selfie. Well done and all that. In second place, who we got? Harry. Well done, mate. Not quite there, but pretty cool one as well. But in first place, a winner of the pair of tickets to the men's artistic is Izzy Logan.
it's pretty difficult to believe that we've only got one rotation left of this women's all-around competition. It's shaping up nicely for a close finish. Currently in the lead, we've got Amy Tinkler from South Durham, 41.8 her current all-around score. Ellie Downey's currently in second place, 41.3, so 0.5 behind Amy. Ellie, of course, is making her way now to beam, whilst Amy is going over to vault. Now, vault is, of course, a strong apparatus for Amy. She was the silver medalist at the Junior European Championships last year. We'll be looking to see a strong double twisting Yurchenko from her. And you've got to think that she must be the favourite at this point to seal that gold medal. The men, of course, have got 2 more pieces of apparatus to go once the women's competition has concluded.
So that concludes the warm-up gymnast, and you'd like to step down from the podium, please, and we'll get rotation 4 underway. Focusing on floor in this round, we have the men ready to compete. And our first competitor representing South Essex is Jay Thompson.
So we thought we might have had time to squeeze in Sam Oldham's P-bars. Don't worry, you are catching that on a secondary feed, so you'll get to see the video uploaded later. But right now we need to turn our attention to the vault and the conclusion of this women's all-around competition. Claudia Fragapane has of course got some pretty good calibre herself here on the vault, was the Commonwealth Games gold medalist in 2014. Claudia will be performing 2 vaults, but it's the first one that will contribute to her all-around total. And a fantastic double twisting Yurchenko, the vault that we're so used to seeing from Claudia. A little bit loose-legged in the air. I think she has improved that since last year, but there's still small deductions that the judging panel could take. But a clean and steady landing. Managed to keep the vault well within the landing area, straight on that centre line. And you can just see Claudia going through her final mental rehearsals there for this second vault. Gymnasts performing 2 vaults in order to try and make an apparatus final have to show vaults from 2 different vaulting families in this senior competition, which means she'll have to mount the table from a different style of entry. So we first saw her doing the kind of round-off backflip entry for her double twisting Yurchenko. This time we're still going to see a Yurchenko entry, but you'll notice a half turn before she makes contact with the vaulting table. So once again, powering down towards the vault, round off half on, and makes that half twist off in the somersault too. The judges will have to decide whether to credit that with a straight or a pike somersault. Ideally, to give full credit for the difficulty, they'd want to see that straight position for the majority of the rotation. But a solid effort from Claudia there on the vault, and I'm sure she'll be placing highly in the vault rankings.
Next up, the Angel Romeo. And Greg Bevan finishing routine there with triple distance somersault.
So you can see now we are mid-routine with Amy Tinkler from from Angel Romeo from Cardiff Central on the beam. And a lovely acrobatic series there, flick, layout, layout. You'll see lots of gymnasts in this new code performing 3-element acrobatic series. Ooh, lovely. Double spin there.
On the vault will be Amy Tinkler.
So apologies to cut away from that routine, but of course we are going to be bringing you the vault from Amy Tinkler from South Durham. Amy, our current leader in the all-around competition, and we'll be looking to seal the deal here on this British Championships. And a beautiful vault there for Amy. Maintain the straight body position all through that vault, wrapped in those 2 twists, and she looks really happy with that performance, and rightly so.
Our next competitor on the apparatus, representing South.
A lovely hug from her coach. So Amy, of course, was our junior champion in 2014, and you've got to think that she's just sealed that gold medal in her very first senior British Championships. So back over to beam, we get to see the conclusion of Angel's routine. And a round off 2.5 twist dismount. Lovely beam work there from Angel. Some unique skills.
Angel Romeo.
And Tracy Skirt and her coach looking delighted with that performance. Lovely to see a big smile on Angel's face. And definitely a great routine there for her.
14.85 there for Amy Tinkler on the vault.
And the score in for Amy Tinkler on vault, 14.85, giving her an all-around total of 56.65, putting her in gold medal position in this women's all-around competition. We have still got Ellie Downey yet to go on the beam, but I think it's going to be a very challenging score to surpass there. So in fact, Ellie needs a score of 15.35 on the beam in order to match Amy Tinkler's score. It's not a total she's going to reach today, so I think we can safely say that Amy Tinkler is our brand new senior British champion here today.
And we expect her finishing off the routine in the double Arabian.
Our next competitor on the parallel bars, Dan Burns.
So we're going to be watching Ellie Downey now over on beam. So Ellie's done really well to recover herself from a difficult start on the floor. And she'll be looking to put in a really clean and solid performance to finish off her competition here. Of course, Sister Becky had a really difficult time on beam here earlier today, so she'll be trying to put that to the back of her mind. And the score in there for Angel Romeo, 13.8. That's a really solid total on the beam. And in fact, is our top score on the beam today, 13.8. Just sneaking 0.05 ahead of Amy Tinkler on that apparatus. And that, I suppose, explains why Coach Tracy Skirton was looking so delighted with that routine. It of course means our judges are now ready.
Representing the city of Birmingham is Dominic Cunningham.
So here we go. Ellie Downey on the beam representing Knox Gymnastics Academy. All of the gymnasts have to show work low to the beam, and Ellie getting that out of the way quickly with a mount. And just like her sister, her first element, that really strong punch front somersault. Ooh, Ellie, a powerful work here on beam. We have been used to seeing her doing a standing Arabian in that part of her routine, but opting for a simpler tuck back somersault today. And lovely leaps there, really confident, showing great 180 degree split positions. And another one of those lovely double spins, smoothly controlled. And flick layout, well held. The group of Knot supporters are down at the beam end of the arena. You can hear all of them egging Ellie to stay on the apparatus. And doing well again to control that side somersault. Just let her shoulders come forwards a little bit, but managed to pull it back strongly.
And the Dominic Killingham finishing on floor. Well done to him.
Now Ellie, of course, a first year senior, just 15 years of age, but has done really well to show her maturity in this routine. And a huge double Arabian dismount. That's the first time I've seen her perform that particular element live. It's called a Patterson, named after Carly Patterson, who first performed it way back in 2004 at the Olympics in Athens, and really lovely to see Ellie having that back in her routine. It was unfortunately the skill that put her out of the championships last year. She suffered an injury on that in podium training, but great to see such fantastic difficulty here at these British Championships. So now we have the fight for second place. Of course, Ellie's going to be close. She's going to be trying to sneak her way up there onto the medal rostrum. Claudia Fragapani has already sealed her total, 55.55 for her all-around total today. Currently in third place, we've got 53.1 for Angel Romeo. And of course, we still have got Kelly Sim yet to come. She's performed some huge difficulty on, in fact, all the pieces of apparatus so far. She's got some fantastic new work for 2015. And it certainly won't stop when she gets to the beam. Watch out in particular for a brand new dismount.
The gymnasts will be finished in this rotation. The men will still have 2 more to go, so don't go away. We've still got lots more action to come to conclude their competition.
Absolutely, 2 more rounds of action for the men, and then we will be bringing you all of the medal ceremonies from this competition. Don't forget to let us know what you've thought of the competition so far. Get in touch with us on Twitter or Facebook. On Facebook you can just search for British Gymnastics, and on Twitter our handle is @BritGymnastics. We love to hear your feedback about these events and hope you're enjoying the action just as much as we are.
So our final competitor on beam.
And the score for Ellie Downey on the beam is 13.65, which sneaks her up into bronze medal position. Just one competitor left to go though, who could change these rankings, and that is Kelly Sim from Dynamo. Starting with her leap series. I think she probably wanted to connect that split change initially into the second leap, but choosing to take a pause. Kelly's really improved on this apparatus, and she's certainly growing in confidence in her performances each time she's out on the competition floor. Oh, and unfortunately just off the side of the beam there. Flick layout somersault to 2 feet. It's a very tricky combination. Anytime the gymnast lands on 2 feet, it's more difficult to bring the somersault under control. Kelly showing there that she's comfortable in both the forwards and backwards somersaulting elements on this apparatus. Of course, the gymnasts have to show elements that travel in all directions. And again, that's another connection that she'd have liked to have made, that leap directly into the tuck back somersault. But really in damage control mode now. She knows she can't afford to come away from the apparatus once again. And here comes this big dismount. We saw it for the first time at the English Championships, and we're hoping she can pull it out the bag again today. Rounds off, full twisting double back. Oh, and just about to her feet. Quite the lunge forward, did well to avoid the beam. But really, I cannot express how difficult and challenging that particular dismount is. I'm only aware of one other gymnast in the world who's currently competing that skill, and it really does have tremendous difficulty value. But right now we're looking at Amy Tinkler. She's got a big smile on her face and she knows exactly what the results are. Kelly falling on that routine, means that she is definitely sealed in place as our senior British champion.
We will shortly be marching the female gymnast.
Congratulations to Amy and her coach at South Durham, affectionately known as Tink. And a beautiful leotard there. Looks like she's already got the crown in place. Another new leotard brand, pink. And I think Amy's going to in fact have her own signature line of leotards. So what a weekend it is for her, launching her own line of leotards and winning the Senior British Championships. I can think of worse things that could happen over a weekend.
It's not bad. It's not been a bad year so far, is it, for Amy?
Yeah, 2015 is certainly going to be a big year for this young lady. She's already been named on the nominative roster for Europeans, and you've got to think after this performance here tonight, she's going to be our #1 seeded all-arounder going into that competition.
Yeah, I think what she's proved is the consistency. She always comes out and looks cool, calm, collected. She goes out, she does her business, and she gets off. And you almost kind of watch her with ease because you feel like you know she's gonna go for it and she's gonna stick it because she's that confident.
Absolutely, and from a first-year senior in this competition, it's actually quite unusual to see that level of confidence, but really Amy has exuded that in every performance she's had here today. She looks supremely confident about all her skills, and I think really that's the secret. If you're confident in your skills, if you know you're capable of doing them, then it just gives you that extra bit of va-va-vu when you perform them in your routines.
Now, who are new British champion here?
Ellie Downey not looking quite so certain about the results here.
More titles on the ground tomorrow, of course, the operators finals.
And we are still waiting for that score in from Kelly Sim on the beam. I can tell you she's definitely not going to be contending for a gold medal position. 15.75 the score required there would be an incredible total really. I don't think we'd have even seen that from a world champion winner last year, so maybe a little bit too ambitious. And in fact, actually looking at the second and third place scores, I think she's really going to be struggling to push up into those medals. Looks quite likely that she could slot in just behind in that always difficult fourth place.
It's nice to see the girls there chatting each other away. They often obviously have the squads together, so they are really, really good friends as well, and I know they enjoy going around together.
Absolutely, these guys spend a lot of time together when they're away at Lilleshall on national squads, camps. Oh, and there we go, 12.2 the score for Kelly Sim from Dynamo. And actually, yeah, she has gone into that fourth place position, but she is tied with Angel Romeo from Cardiff Central. So a joint fourth place, 53.1 their all-around total, which means that we have got our confirmed all-around medalists. In third place, Ellie Downey from Notts Gymnastics Academy, 54.95 her score. And actually, she's got a lot more potential there, hasn't she? We saw 2 falls early on in her floor routine. Oh, sorry, 1 fall and 1 kind of out-of-bounds landing, wasn't it? So definitely at least kind of a mark and a half that she'll be looking to make up there.
First year senior, it's Amy Tinkler.
Oh, and actually really lovely just to see Amy soaking in that moment. Such a fantastic achievement as a first-year senior gymnast. Oh, and it really does just go to show that hard work does pay off, doesn't it? These girls spend hours in the gym, and just to see Amy there looking so happy with the result today makes it all worthwhile.
So as the girls march out of the arena, the men continue marching round. And we continue with rotation 5 of 6 in this final subdivision of the day.
Yeah, we're going to have the men working across 3 different pieces of apparatus in this round. We've got the pommel horse, the vault and the high bar in action. And actually we've got some pretty spectacular work that's going to be happening over there on the high bar to start us off.
I can tell you at the moment, of the boys competing in this subdivision, Dan Purvis is leading the way with 59.05. City of Birmingham's Dom Cunningham is behind him just a little bit further with 57.9. Just behind him, Frank Baines with 57.8, and some really small margins because Sam Oldham is just behind Frank with 57.65. So there's a lot to play for in this final few rotations.
Fantastic end to the women's competition, and now the boys with 2 more rotations to go. That all around
So in this rotation, we're going to be hoping to take a look at Max Whitlock. He's only competing on pommels here tonight.
Yeah, he's had a slight illness, so he's not competing in the all-around event. So he's just going to put out his pommels. Sure, obviously, still looking to get that selection for the European Championships to prove that he is one of the top contenders.
Absolutely, and I'm sure the crowd will be loving seeing Max competing here on the floor. Obviously a crowd favourite after his recent successes.
I believe we're going to start on the high bar.
Our first competitor on pommel.
Ashley Watson, who has some incredible release and catch elements on his high bar. If he can catch this, this will be an incredible routine. I can't tell you, you must watch this.
Absolutely, Ashley's somewhat of a high bar specialist. He's been selected for teams on the past, purely for his skill here on the high bar. This, of course, is pretty much the most spectacular piece of apparatus for the men. They have to show a variety of elements, giants with and without turns, flight elements, which of course is what Ashley's so well known for. But he does have to calm it down, show some nice close bar elements too. Ooh! I thought he'd gone for a bit of a Healy into a one-arm giant there, but I think that was actually an error early on. Nevertheless, straight into this big difficulty. Oh, a fantastic Coleman release. That's the double straight somersault with a full twist. And this time the same release, but in a tucked position. Oh, and this time just the simple Kovacs, just the double somersault across the bar.
As you do.
Ah, and that's the release that we love so much. It's called a death. It's a Ginger with a 1.5 twist.
Wow, apart from that slight error at the beginning, he showed some good work here.
Absolutely, he's got some real international calibre on this event. Stooping in now. Oh! And an unfortunate error there. He's so confident with his release and catches, but just some of these turns giving him a little bit of difficulty. Winding up though for a big dismount, full twisting double straight. A little bit dished in the air. And you can see he looks... Ooh, I'm not sure actually if that was kind of a happy smile or a bit of a grimace there from Ashley, but nevertheless some spectacular difficulty in that routine.
I think he'd be incredibly pleased to have caught those release and catch elements, but actually then made the errors on the slightly easier work, which is quite frustrating for the gymnast.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit of frustration showing there on his face.
Bryn Bevan with a score of 13.4 on the pommel horse. Next to compete there is the world current silver medalist in the all-around championships. It's Max Whitlock.
15.5 is scored for Christian Thomas on vault. He prepares now for his second vault.
So we're going to be watching Dan Purvis now as he takes to the high bar. He's our current all-around leader. Although you can just see a sneaky peek in the background there. We have got Max Whitlock taking to the pommel horse. Oh, and unfortunately just coming away from the apparatus. He has been looking a little bit shaky in his warm-ups here, as Liv alluded to. He's just been suffering from a little bit of an illness. Just taking a bit of guidance from his coach there as to how best to continue his routine. You can see Scott Han from the South Essex Gymnastics Club. Got a fantastic group of gymnasts here, and also had some success in the junior competitions yesterday. And you can see Max, lovely dismount, really quick through those pirouettes. Finished off his routine strongly. Oh, he'll be disappointed with that fall, but a lovely way to the crowd as he dismounts from the podium. And we know Max isn't at his best today, but I'm sure he'll be fully recovered and back on the competition floor at full strength very soon. So we're going to turn our attention now to our current all-around leader, Dan Purvis. Dan's already enjoyed a bit of success this year, was crowned the Scottish champion just a few weeks ago.
Yeah, and he's won the British title back in... Oh, when was it? He's won it twice, but Max has taken it the last 2 years. The 2 years before that was when Dan won it, so he will be looking to get it back because he's won silver for the past 2 years, so I'm sure he'll definitely be looking for the gold today.
Yeah, second place, always a difficult position to come in any competition when you're so close to clinching that gold. So yeah, I'm sure Dan will be delighted to be contending for that gold medal today. Dan was also part of that Scottish team at the Commonwealth Games in 2014 that took a historic silver medal, only being beaten by their Team GB teammates from Team England.
Representing Southport YMCA, it's Dan Purvis.
There we go, the score in for Ashley Watson was 13.75. So we're now ready for Dan Purvis to take to the high bar. We'll see a bit of a different approach here, so Dan still needs to show a release and chooses to get it out of the way nice and early, but we won't see quite the same style of high bar work here as we just saw from Ashley. Dan seeming to favour building his difficulty through pirouetting skills.
Next competitor there, representing South Essex, Reese Beckford.
Stooping into a half pirouette. Lovely 1.5 turn there over the bar. Gymnast, of course, needing to show close bar elements too, and that Stolder will fulfill that criteria. Winding up now, 4 double twisting, double straight, and just a tiny pace in the landing, but a clean routine, and that'll certainly help his gold medal possibilities.
European Olympic medalists.
Over on pommel horse now, we're now taking a look at Reese Beckford from South Essex. Now Reese is competing in today's competition as a guest competitor. We're used to seeing him as one of the familiar faces in the Great British squad, but in fact he has now opted to compete for Jamaica. So you never know, we might be seeing him in Rio in a Jamaican leotard.
Yeah, it's a really exciting opportunity for Reese, and I'm sure he'll be looking forward to competing for Jamaica. And this is just another chance for him to get his skills out. Just losing it a little bit. Did very well there to stay on the pommel.
Yeah, absolutely. He's had a great deal of support from his British coaches and teammates about his choice to move over to represent Jamaica, and we'll wish him the best in that endeavour. So, following his teammate Dan Purvis, we're now going to be seeing Frank Baines on the high bar. Frank, of course, had a very successful junior career. He was the junior European all-around champion in 2012. And he's been a very strong competitor all through the age group championships as he's been growing as a gymnast. In the 2014 Commonwealth Games, he was also teammates with Dan Purvis in the Scottish team, where they earned that historic team silver. And Frank is actually a Liverpool native, so it'll be interesting to see whether the crowd really get behind him and give him a big cheer as he goes onto the high bar. Just 19 years of age, he's relatively early in his senior career, and he'll be looking to build his difficulty in the coming years and contend for some British teams in the future.
Our next competitor there, representing the city of Birmingham, Dominic Cunningham.
Oh, and a lovely one-arm giant there from Frank. It's a slightly unusual skill. We don't see many gymnasts choosing to use it. Supremely difficult swinging around the bar just using one arm. Oh, and a lovely release there. The Kovac and pike position. And a lovely straight catch-up over the top of the bar. Ooh, and lovely work there. The straddle catch-up with a half turn. That means they have to catch in a different grip to how they've left the apparatus. Lovely forward elements fulfilling that criteria as he winds up for a big dismount. And a solid landing for Frank. That's going to be a really big score for him there. He's going to be hoping to definitely contend for a high bar medal and a place in those Masters finals tomorrow. That routine's certainly going to help Frank's bid to get on the all-around podium here today. Looks like he's currently sitting about third place in this final subdivision.
our final competitor on that apparatus for this rotation, representing South.
And we are going to stay on the high bar. We've got Sam Oldham, who's going to be representing Loughborough students. And Sam's been training some really big release skills on this apparatus. It's always been a favoured piece of apparatus from the high bar. Was it the European Championships last year, Liv, where he came away with a medal?
I believe so. I think it was Christian Thomas and Sam. I'm trying to recall whether Sam won the silver or Christian won the silver, but they definitely came away with the medals. I believe Sam was actually in the silver medal position.
Next to perform and representing Loughborough students, Sam Oldham.
So having now referred to our notes, we stand corrected.
We do. Apologies.
So yeah, 2014 high bar bronze medalist from the European Championships, Sam Oldham. Starting off with a quiet, clear hip, getting that close bar element out the way before a big release. Oh, such a shame. That is an incredibly ambitious releasing catch. Double straight somersault over the bar with a full twist. It looked like he'd pulled it in a little bit closer. He was a little bit far in his warm-up attempt, but nevertheless, great to see these great British gymnasts trying some really ambitious skills here on high bar. It's a piece of apparatus where in the past the British men have struggled a little bit, maybe had lower totals than some of their international rivals, but they've made great strides over the last couple of years to improve their performances here. And not put off by that early error. That was a beautiful full twisting Kovac, this time in the tuck position. A huge straight catch over across the top of the bar, managing to maintain that stretch position. And just like in the last routine, Kachev catching in the mixed grip to turn that move round. Stooping in and out of the bar, and nicely in his close bar work in the Stolder. Surely just the dismount left to come now, winds up, double twisting, double straight, oh, and really went for the stick there, but not able to hold on. A pace backwards, he's going to be disappointed with that fall, but some truly spectacular difficulty from Sam Oldham.
Well recovered, excellent release and catches after that, finishing with a double straight. And that performance does conclude the rotation. So, ladies and gentlemen, just one more time. We'll move them around to their final apparatus. Show them your support.
Come on, Liverpool, that's the last rotation, make some noise!
So unbelievably, we have just got one more rotation of gymnastics to go here. We're going to have our current top group of gymnasts rotating round to the floor. Dan Purvis is currently in the driving seat. He's going to be looking to push up into the medal positions. He's going to be looking to hang on to that top spot. Currently his all-around total at 73.2, and of course he's not bad on the floor, is Dan. He's currently, formerly he has won international medals on this apparatus, both at European and world level. So he's got a bit of calibre on this piece of apparatus. But closely chasing him will be his teammate, Frank Baines.
And up on the big screen, yes, the all-around standing remembering in the gymnastics.
And we've also got the City of Birmingham's Dominic Cunningham, who will be looking to make his bid for the medal table. He's finishing his competition up on the rings.
That's right, in this rotation you'll see the men competing on the floor,
the under 18, and now of course the seniors. The top scorers are the apparatus taking tomorrow in that Masters competition.
And in the women's junior apparatus finals and women's senior apparatus finals, let's go by the disability gymnasts. Competition starts at 10:30 from tomorrow. Let's see the 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Into the 30 seconds of warm-up gymnasts. Final 30 seconds of warm-up. Get this rotation underway. Starting it. Level performer on the floor. Gymnasts, that concludes your warm-up. If you can kindly step away to the podium now and we'll get this last round underway.
Once again focusing on the floor, and our first competitor there, representing Southport YMCA is Daniel Purvis.
So a great reception from the crowd here for Dan Purvis on the floor. And what a start, double twisting, double tuck somersault. And a fantastic twisting combination there. All of the guys just seem to be so solid in these landings. It really is critical that they don't give away too many tenths. And lovely difficulty there, handspring double front, only requiring the side of the floor. And 2.5 twist, punch straight half. The male gymnasts have to have such good spatial awareness in order to make these twisting combinations work for them. And of course they also have to have a lovely amount of control to be able to show those handstands while their muscles are burning and hearts are pumping mid-routine. And a lovely rollout skill there. Always love the way how Dan stands up with straight legs, just has that extra bit of flourish to the skill. Just one pass left to go now. And a double Arabian to finish, and what a landing. Ripped his toes onto that carpet, a little wave to the crowd, and I think he probably knows he's sealed the deal there. I think we might have just seen a great final routine for potentially our 2015 British champion.
2.5 twist and immediate twist. Somersaulting combination and a nice 1.5. Twisting, 1 and 3/4 roll out.
There's great camaraderie between all of these British gymnasts. Much like the girls, they spend a lot of time together at Lillishall when they're at squads and training camps, and they really do get behind and support each other even when they're in competition. And Dan looking a little bit out of puff there, and you would have thought he'd had to try pretty hard to get through that floor routine. It looked pretty good from where I was sat, didn't look like he'd taken up too much energy. But we do still have his teammate Frank Baines to come. As soon as Dan's score comes in, we'll let you know what the total it is that Frank is chasing.
Next on parallel bars, Courtney Tuller.
At the 2014 British Championships, Frank did take the bronze medal here on the floor. So this is certainly one of his strongest pieces of apparatus.
Respected with a score of 13.05 on the rings. Our next competitor there.
And back in 2012, Frank, of course, was our under-18 British all-around champion. So we'll be looking to have his first placing in the senior all-around competition here today. Looks like we're imminently going to get that score for Dan Purvis. And there we go, 15.3. That gives him an all-around total of 88.5. a really strong total for him to surpass. So he's left a pretty big job here for Frank then. If Frank wants to match that total, he requires a score of 15.8. Now that is a pretty big ask. But nevertheless, he's going to give it a go. Ooh, and I thought he managed to hold it in the floor there. Gripped in deep with his toes. But that's going to be a 0.1 deduction for going out of the area. And a lovely, lofty, double twisting, double tuck somersault. Ooh, and I think he might have had to bail out of that one a little bit. Tried to go for one of those really challenging twisting combinations. Looked like he might have wanted a straight somersault, maybe even adding some twists, but had to reduce it down to a tuck. Lovely control there in the wide arm handstand. It always amazes me how the guys manage to hold that position so solidly. I'm pretty sure I'd end up on my face. But powering back across the floor now. And a fantastic twisting combination there. Didn't mistime that one. Oh, and it looks like he might be over time as well. Oh, yes, just not quite enough time for this last tumble. A big triple twist, a little bit unsteady on the landing. So, some great difficulty in that routine, but I don't think he's going to have done enough to pass Dan Purvis at the top of the table.
Well, I think Frank will be pleased with his performance today because he's often in the last few competitions had quite a few little errors that have really knocked him out in the spotlight. So I think if he can get onto that medal podium, I think he'll be very, very pleased. And so he should be there. You can see he seems happy, he's relaxed, and he's done his job now, so all he can do is wait.
Yeah, absolutely. Lovely to see the teamwork between these two guys from Southport YMCA Gymnastics Club.
Frank Bailey for 13.65 on the floor, and the Pakitas up and drawn over on the parallel bars. So, next on the floor, John.
Representing Loughborough is Sam Oldham.
So here we go with Sam Oldham on the floor. He's going to have to put in a pretty good performance here if he wants to sneak up into the medals. Ooh, nicely controlled there, 1.5 through to punch full. And fantastic, always love to see the flares on the floor. The gymnasts have to show work low to the apparatus, and they often get to show off their pommel horse prowess even on the floor here. Lovely bit of flair in the routine and a ripple of applause from the audience showing their appreciation. Just a little bit unsteady there on the turn.
Finishing off his competition, representing South Essex is Brink Leonard.
Ooh, and very aware of where he was in the apparatus there. Double twist, managed to keep his heel up and not put it out of the floor area. And a lovely 1.5 roll-out skill. Maybe lacked a little bit of height, looked like he had to tuck it in pretty quickly at the end. And just taking his time, making sure he's got a big puff of air for this last tumbling pass. And a 2.5 twister to finish off the floor routine for Sam. Not quite the difficulty that we've seen from him in the past, but having come back from an injury, having worked so hard to rehab since Commonwealth Games, he's going to be really pleased with that performance here today. And I can tell you it's going to be pretty close as to whether he can make it onto the medal rostrum today. We've still got gymnasts working over on the rings. It's Bren Bevan from South Essex just finishing off his routine there with a double twisting double tuck. So in just a few moments time we're going to know who our new British champion is.
The British Championships action to a close. Please give all of our competitors a big round of applause. The score, Sam Oldham comes in 14.5.
there we go, 14.5 for Sam Alden's clean routine. That actually puts him in a joint third place with James Hall from Pegasus. Now yesterday, when there was a tie in the men's all-around, they did actually split that down. So they'll probably be having to have a look now as to how they're going to split that total.
I wonder whether they will with the all-around or not. We'll just have to wait and see. They definitely do with the event apparatus titles, so we'll have to just wait and see there. Fingers crossed they both get it, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, in these situations I always think it's fairer just to give both the gymnasts the medal. And actually, yeah, you're right, it was an apparatus, a single apparatus where it was a split they had to tie. Sorry, a tie they had to split yesterday, so I'm not sure if they will apply that same ruling to the all-around competition.
Well, it's been a bit of a whirlwind competition, isn't it? It's been really hard to keep up with all of the action.
I think I might be delirious after all of that fantastic gymnastics.
Teammates down up front, leading the group. There's the score for Bryn Bevan, 13.35.
So there we go, we've got the final score in. We're certain at least about our gold and silver medalists now. So it looks like we do indeed have Daniel Purvis as our new British champion for 2015, 88.5 his total.
It's been a good day for the Southport YMCA gymnasts and a good day for the Scottish gymnasts, 1 and 2, so congratulations to them.
Absolutely, it's like a little bit of revenge there after the Commonwealth silver last year. This time the Scottish boys have come up on top.
With a score of 86.35, representing Southport YMCA is Frank Baines. And the new British champion, all-around champion for the men with a score of 88.5, representing Southport YMCA, Dan Purvis.
Woo, and the lights have gone down in the arena. We'll be preparing for the medal ceremony as quickly as possible. Of course, we will have the award ceremonies for both the women's all-around competition, the men's all-around competition, and also the senior men's apparatus medals too. So please do stick with us, and those medal ceremonies will be coming up very shortly.
Just right, you see fire in their eyes, 'cause he's stronger than you know. A heart of steel starts to grow. When you've been fighting for it all your life, you've been struggling to make things right. That's how a superhero learns to fly. When you've been fighting for it all your life, you've been working every day and night. That's how a superhero learns to fly. Cause they've taken too much hits, they go blow by blow. Now light him at stand back, watch him explode. She's got a lion in her heart, a fire in her soul. He's got a beast in his belly that's so hard to control. Cause they've taken too much hits, they go blow by blow. Now light him at stand back, watch him explode, 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 explode. When you've been fighting for it all your life, you've been struggling to make this right.
And I'm sure you want to support our medalists.
Just minutes away from getting the medal ceremony underway. Don't go anywhere, we're going to have the stars
of today's competition, and British Gymnastics out here on the floor in just a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the victory ceremony for the women's senior all-around and men's senior all-around is about to commence. Please join me in welcoming our gymnasts and presentation party into the arena.
We could be heroes. We could be heroes. Me and you. We could be.
So we've welcomed our gymnasts back out onto the competition floor. We're going to be kicking off the awards with the women's all-around ceremony.
British Gymnastics President. The silver medals, Matt Neville, British Gymnastics Board of Directors Chair. Presenting the bronze medals, Martin Brennan, British Gymnastics Executive Director, Technical and Education. Presenting the diplomas, Scott Harper, Scottish Gymnastics Chair. And presenting the
So you can hear the presentation party being introduced here to the crowd in the arena. And a fantastic lineup of 6 gymnasts who earned the top 6 spots in this British Championship competition today. The girls, of course, get the opportunity to compete for apparatus final medals tomorrow. So today the focus just is on the all-arounds. And in 6th place from Cardiff Central, Rhea Fika with a score of 52.95. She's done incredibly well to come back from injury following last year's Commonwealth Games, and she'll be really proud of that result here today. In joint 4th place with a combined score of 53.1 from Cardiff Central, Angel Romeo and Kelly Sim from Dynamo School of Gymnastics. Some fantastic routines there, in particular Angel Romeo's beam performance is one to watch out for in event finals tomorrow. But into our medal positions, Ellie Downey's earned a bronze medal with a score of 54.95, just a first year senior. She had some difficulties early on but did incredibly well to come back and earn that bronze medal. In 2nd place, Claudia Fragapane from Bristol Hawks with a score of 55.55. She unfortunately had a fall on beam, of course a deduction of a whole mark, and she was just 1.1 behind our gold medal winner today, but not to take anything away from her. Amy Tinkler from South Durham, a solid all-round performance today, really couldn't have asked for any more from this gymnast. She sharpened her gymnastics up this year, she's really worked on her execution and her form, and yet still managed to build on the difficulty that she already had. She put in great performances on the floor and the vault, her favoured leg apparatus, but also solid, confident performances on bars and beam. She truly is a great all-round gymnast and a very worthy winner of our 2015 Senior Women's British title. Amy, of course, was our 2014 junior champion, so she's clearly taken it in her stride, moving up to the senior age category, and she should be incredibly proud of this achievement. Amy's still yet to turn 16 in this year. Her birthday still a way off in October, so at just 15 years of age, she's done incredibly well to win this title on her first attempt. She's got 3 coaches up in the South Durham Gymnastics Club. Nikki Preston, Rachel Wright, and of course Nick Ruddock, who recently joined the coaching team there, and it certainly doesn't look like it's done Amy any harm. She's got a very promising career to come. She's hoping to have a successful 2015, already been named on the nominative roster for the European Championships, and you've got to think that she's now a surefire contender to be on that team. And of course, looking towards the World Championships in October, she's got to have her sights firmly set on that. Oh, and a lovely moment just seeing her coaches there, Nick and Rachel. Of course, also receiving an award as the coaches of the British champion. And a big roar from the crowd. Congratulations to all of our female competitors here tonight. Can't wait to see them back in action again in the apparatus finals tomorrow. We'll of course welcome back our junior competitors also as we get our senior and junior champions crowns on each of the apparatus.
We're delighted to be able to present this FIG World Class Gymnast Award to Ruby Howell for her contributions to the Great British team at the 2013 World Championships.
So hopefully you've heard all of that nice introduction there. British Gymnastics often use these big competition events to present gymnasts with awards for their contribution to British gymnastics and performance in international events. Now, unfortunately, Ruby Harold is a little bit injured at the moment and hasn't been able to compete over this course of the weekend. We'll be hoping to see her back out on the competition floor soon, but really nice for her to receive this mark of appreciation from her sports governing body.
That concludes the victory ceremony for the Women's Senior All-Around British Championships. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, would you please show your appreciation to our women's senior gymnasts as they leave the competition floor and welcome the men's senior gymnasts.
So there we go, the girls leave the competition floor for the final time tonight. We will of course now be bringing in our senior men for both their all-around and apparatus medals.
Competition.
See our male competitors being marched back into the arena for their awards. We'll be kicking off with the all-around medals before moving on to the individual apparatus.
With the Men's Senior British Championships all-around competition. In 6th place, representing South Essex, Bryn Bevan.
So here we go with the men's all-around presentations, calling up the top 6 gymnasts. And there we go, that's the answer to our question about what to do with the tie in third. The tie will remain just that, a tie. And from Loughborough students, it's Sam Oldham, and from Pegasus Gymnastics Club, James Hall, both with a score of 85.7.
In second place and winner of the silver medal, representing Southport YMCA, Frank Baines.
And this is where the real successes begin for Southport YMCA. The silver medal going to Frank Baines, 86.35 his total for the silver medal.
Winner of the gold medal, representing Southport YMCA, the 2015 Men's Senior British Champion is Dan Purvis.
And a lovely roar of the crowd there. Dan, of course, was our all-around champion back in 2011 and 2012. He's been pipped to the post the last 2 years by Max Whitlock, but this year has regained his crown. A fantastic total for Dan, 88.5. More than 2 marks ahead of his nearest rival, and he's easily secured that gold here tonight. And he looks pretty happy about it too. Always lovely to see a smile on these competitors' faces. And Dan, always a very modest and polite gymnast in these occasions. You can see him dutifully shaking everyone's hands. And great to see a smile on his face. I'd certainly be happy if I was holding that trophy in my hands. And that's a novel use for his trophy. I suppose it could double up as a vase. Looks like he's popped his flower in there. It is pretty tricky for these guys though. With all the prizes they get given, they haven't really got enough hands to hold on to them all. So very good multitasking effort there from Dan.
We would also like to recognise the coach of the men's senior British champion, Jeff Brooks.
And just like in the women's competition, the coach, the senior British champion, is also recognised. And Jeff Brooks has got to be feeling particularly happy tonight with his two gymnasts taking first and second place. This is certainly going to be a very good year for Southport YMCA.
Ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation for the all-around medalists.
There we go, so the boys are going to return to the line. Of course, we have now got the apparatus medals also to award, and we're going to be starting off with men's floor. There were some great scores in this competition. All three of our medalists managed to break the 15-mark barrier. And in third place from the city of Birmingham, 15.15 was the score for Dominic Cunningham.
And in joint first place, winners of the gold medals, representing Southport YMCA and Earls Gymnastics Club, the 2015 men's senior British floor champions are Dan Purvis and Christian Thomas.
Okay, so on my screen it had these two guys separated out into gold and silver medal position, but clearly the competition organisers have decided to maintain the tie once again. So in joint first place with 15.3, Christian Thomas and Daniel Purvis. And actually, maybe it's because they couldn't split the tie, so in fact both of the guys had a difficulty of 6.2 and an execution of 9.1. So I suppose there wasn't anything to split between these two gymnasts. Unfortunately, we weren't able to catch Christian's routine on this piece of apparatus, but no doubt he'll be back in the Masters final tomorrow and we'll make every effort to capture his routine then.
Ladies and gentlemen, your floor medalists.
So congratulations to those three gymnasts earning their floor medals. Next up, we'll be moving to the pommel horse.
Senior pommel horse competition. In joint second place and winners of the silver medals, representing Sam Essex and Loughborough students, Max Whitlock and Sam Oldham.
And actually it looks like we've got a flurry of ties in these apparatus medals here. Max Whitlock and Sam Oldham were earning joint second place in the pommel competition. Max, of course, had a full mid-routine, but obviously had sufficient difficulty, in fact a huge 6.8 difficulty, in order to maintain that silver medal position. However, returning to the top of the pommel rostrum, Lewis Smith, a big crowd favourite here. Waving to the crowd, he was cool as a cucumber, moved through his routine beautifully smoothly. Big difficulty, 6.8, managed to match Max there, but much cleaner on execution, managing to stay on the pommel horse. 8.7 his execution, earning him a total of 15.5. And you've got to imagine that Lewis is pretty happy to be on top of that podium. It's been quite a long road and comeback for him. He was able to make the Commonwealth Games team last year, but wasn't included on the team for the World Championships, and he's still hoping to make improvements. Lots of cries from the crowd for some of Lewis's fans, just blowing one of them there a kiss.
Thank you, Jim.
And he's definitely happy to be back on the podium here tonight.
Next is the presentation for the men's senior wings competition. In third place and winner of the bronze medal, representing Earls Gymnastics Club, Christian Thomas.
Moving our attention now to rings. In third place with 14.35 from Earls Gymnastics Club, Christian Thomas.
Representing Loughborough students, Sam Oldham.
Sam Oldham getting back up on that medal rostrum once again, representing Loughborough Students Gymnastics Club, 14.45 his total for the silver medal.
Winner of the gold medal, representing Southport YMCA, the 2015 men's senior British wings champion is Dan Purvis.
And really a very confident and consummate performance here on the rings for Dan Purvis. 0.5 clear of his silver medal contender. 14.95 was his total for the gold medal here on the rings. 8.85 was his execution score, so a very cleanly executed routine indeed. And certainly a worthy winner on this piece of apparatus. He's got to be delighted with his performance here tonight. Really has just done so well across all of the apparatus, proving his credentials as a really solid all-around gymnast.
Ladies and gentlemen, your rings medalists. Thank you, gymnasts. Moving on, we have the presentation of the men's senior vault competition.
Next up then, we're moving over to vault. And I think this might be the only piece of apparatus where we've got one of our competitors from an earlier subdivision taking a medal. And in this case, it's Loughborough students. Once again, this time Harry Carter taking the bronze medal on vault. His total, 13.675.
Representing City of Birmingham, Dominic Cunningham.
In silver medal position, we have the City of Birmingham's Dominic Cunningham. Of course, the gymnasts looking to contend for medals here had to show two separate vaults, so not all of our competitors were in contention for this final.
2015 men's senior British vault champion is Christian Thomas.
But our senior champion here on the vault is Christian Thomas. He has got some huge vaults here, and it's going to be another routine definitely to look out for in the Masters final tomorrow. It will in fact be our senior champ going head-to-head with our under-18 champ in the form of Gianni Regini Moran. And vault's definitely going to be one of the interesting pieces of apparatus to watch tomorrow. Indeed, there are only a few tenths separating Christian and Gianni in their totals, so it really is going to be a case of whoever can do the cleanest vaults tomorrow, securely land them on their feet. But it will be a really good competition in that Masters final.
In third place, the winner of the bronze medal, representing Southport YMCA, Frank Baines. In second place, the winner of the silver medal, representing Southport YMCA, Dan Purvis.
So into our penultimate presentation now. This time we're looking at the parallel bars. Third place went to Frank Baines. Second place, Daniel Purvis.
Representing Leeds Gymnastics Club, the 2015 Senior British Parallel Bars champion is Ashley Watson.
And in first place, Ashley Watson from Leeds Gymnastics Club. We saw his spectacular releases on the high bar, but clearly he's pretty handy on the parallel bars too. 15.45 his total here, managing to just pip Dan Purvis at the post by 0.1 on this apparatus. Which means we have just got one apparatus left to cover here. I'm sure the competition organisers will be busily assembling the lineup for the Masters finals tomorrow. Just to remind you, that is a combined event, effectively another set of apparatus finals, but combining all the competitors from the under 16, under 18 and senior competitions. So potentially we're going to have 15-year-old gymnasts competing against our senior competitors here. And it truly makes for an exciting competition format.
The presentation for the men's senior horizontal bar. In third place and winner of the bronze medal, representing South Essex, Rick Bevan.
So our final presentation is for the high bar, and in third place with a score of 15.55 from South Essex, Bryn Bevan.
Southport YMCA, Frank Baines.
And in second place, a familiar face on the podium, Frank Baines from Southport YMCA, scored 14.9 on the high bar.
In first place, winner of the gold medal, representing Earls Gymnastics Club, the 2015 men's senior British horizontal bar champion is Christian Thomas.
And our final championship announcement of the night. Christian Thomas takes the gold on high bar, 15.3 his total. And again, unfortunately, we just didn't have time to feature any of Christian's routines tonight. It has been an action-packed night of gymnastics here in the Liverpool Echo Arena. We'll definitely be taking a look at his routines tomorrow, though. Clearly put in some very good scores across the apparatus. And I don't know if you could quite hear that on the live feed. There was a group of a group of girls screaming, "I love you, Bryn," from the crowd. So definitely a crowd favourite up on the podium.
For the horizontal bar medalist.
And if you're wondering why Christian didn't quite manage to push up into the all-around placings today, he only competed on 4 pieces of apparatus, clearly did very well there, managing to medal on each of the 4 apparatus on which he competed. So we'll be hoping to see him back in the all-around very soon, clearly a very talented gymnast. And that concludes our coverage for this evening. We really hope you've enjoyed all of the coverage here tonight. There's been some spectacular gymnastics on show and really truly shows the strength, depth and quality of British gymnastics. 2015 is going to be an incredibly exciting year. So please don't forget, tune back in tomorrow, join us for the women's apparatus finals and the men's masters finals. It really has been a delight to commentate on this evening's performances. I've been Katie Foster, thank you so much for tuning in and we hope to see you again tomorrow. Good night.